What is up, guys? Welcome back to another quick video here on the Fantasy Fellowship channel. My name's Kyle. Friday, October 6th, I'm going to be going over the final practice reports for this week 5 going on here. We're probably going to need some more updates and stuff tomorrow and probably Sunday morning, but this is what we have going into the weekend. Let's hop into a screen share here and we'll go over the notes together. I will be doing a live stream Sunday morning, so if you guys want to hang out with me, 10:30 a.m. Central Time, that's an hour and a half before the opening kickoffs for the early games. We will go over all the actives, inactives here. Let's take a look at the underdog tweets here. Do a good job. This is a good account to follow too for your updates on your practice reports and whatnot here. Davante Adams not practicing on Friday, so they do play Monday night, so we have to watch for that one tomorrow. Jimmy Garoppolo clears concussion protocol. He will play week 5, so that's good news if Davante and everybody else can go. The 49ers rule out Elijah Mitchell for week 5. Javonte Williams expected to be listed as questionable. I'm sure we're going to get a ton of questions on him. I wish they would just rule him out, though, and let him heal up for a week. Foster Moreau, not on the injury report for week 5. Juwan Johnson was listed out for the Saints. Derek Carr listed as questionable. Jonathan Taylor officially listed as questionable. He did practice pretty much all week here, I believe, in full. So I'm not sure why he's listed as questionable. Maybe they just want to see what he looks like on Sunday morning. But yeah, full. Good to see. Ramondre Stevenson listed as questionable. That one's a little bit of a concern here. I don't have too much news on this one. He's got a thigh issue right now, limited Wednesday through Friday. So we'll keep an eye on that one. That one could go either way. The Lions are dinged up here. Jameson Williams questionable in his first game back potentially. Josh Reynolds listed as questionable with a groin. Jahmyr Gibbs listed as questionable with a hamstring. And Amon-Ra St. Brown, bit of a surprise here, abdomen listed as doubtful. Not a great injury report for the Lions, man. They already ruled out Brian Branch, Jason Kabinda, the fullback, James Mitchell ruled out, and then Amon-Ra St. Brown probably not going to play. He didn't practice at any point this weekend. It's a nice matchup against the Carolina Panthers, so obviously we love it if he can play, but doesn't look good for him right now. And then the big concern here was Jahmyr Gibbs popping up on the injury report with a hamstring. He was full health Wednesday, Thursday, and the fact that he's listed here as limited on Friday is a little bit of a question mark, so we'll watch for that. It does say Josh Reynolds full practice here, but he's listed as questionable, so we have questions on the Lions. I think Amon-Ra St. Brown probably not going to play. We'll watch for Reynolds. We'll watch for Gibbs. Big trade today. Not really a big trade, but Randy Gregory going to the 49ers for basically free. Cooper Kupp, he's going to play. Not going to have any specific limitations this weekend. So I think if you have Cooper Kupp, you got to play him. Get him in your lineup. I don't care if he's your wide receiver 1, 2, or 3 or flex. Get him in the lineup. More receiver questions here. T. Higgins, questionable with that rib injury. Now, I like the report today. Didn't practice Wednesday or Thursday, but he got a limited day today. So that's leaving the door open for him to play this weekend. We're going to have to probably watch for him, Sunday morning and see what he's doing, with the warm-ups and the walkthroughs. So we'll watch for that. And it also looks like Irv Smith is going to be back this weekend. He missed the last couple games. So good news there for the Bengals, at least a little bit healthier with Irv Smith coming back. Justice Hill, let's open up the Ravens. Justice Hill listed as questionable week 5. Rashad Bateman not on the injury report. So the Ravens getting a little bit healthier here. If I click on DNP, they already ruled, Morgan Moses, offensive tackle, doubtful. Odafe Owe out, linebacker. Daryl Worley out, safety. Now we're going to wait and see on Ronnie Stanley. I think he's going to play. Didn't practice today, non-injury, just a day off. Rashad Bateman, though, practiced in full all week. He's not a bad, stash play over your bench for the weekend. And then Justice Hill, full practice today. Limited the last 2 days. So it looks like Justice Hill is going to be out on the field. And then the one I'm watching and I'm stashing over the weekend is Keaton Mitchell, the rookie running back here. He was on IR to start the year. I'm going to wait and see if they activate him. I do think he's probably a guy that we're going to talk about on the waiver wire at some point. If he gets in the game and he looks good, you already got him on your team. You're good to go. So I'm stashing him personally. And then Odell Beckham here, limited all weekend. We'll see if this Ravens offense can get healthier. Pat Freiermuth listed as out. Kenny Pickett not on the injury report. So bad news, no Pat Freiermuth, but Kenny Pickett's going to play. So good to see. Saquon Barkley listed as questionable. I'm not quite sure what to tell you guys on this one. He is going to Miami to play a tough game against the Dolphins here. He was limited all week. Daniel Bellinger also limited all week here. Gary Brightwell limited all week. Wan'Dale Robinson also limited all week. I do want to stash Wan'Dale Robinson on my bench if you could. The thing that concerns me, though, is the offensive line. Starting guard, center, tackle, all out. Like, this is not a good spot for the Giants offense going up against the Dolphins. We saw what the Seahawks did to them, sacking Daniel Jones a bunch of times. Treylon Burks is ruled out. Let's take a peek at those Tennessee Titans here. Good news for the Titans. They're getting Kyle Phillips back, the slot receiver. Treylon's ruled out, and a couple defensive players are ruled out here. Otherwise, everybody was in full for the most part. Good to see DeAndre Hopkins in full. I think you're starting DeAndre Hopkins if you have him. You're starting Derrick Henry for sure. And then they did rule out an offensive tackle here. But Kyle Phillips is back, and that is good news to see. He did start the season on PUP, but full. He might step in as the number 2, number 3, probably the number 3 receiver behind Hopkins and Westbrook Ikine. Odell Beckham expects to play. Dolphins put left tackle Teron Armstead on IR. He's going to miss the next 4 games. Let's look at Zay Jones here. They have the London game this week. It's the opening game on Sunday with Buffalo. Parker Washington and Devin Lloyd ruled out, whatever. But Zay Jones, limited. I don't know what he did on Friday quite yet. There's a chance that he plays. We're not super excited about our Jaguars in fantasy this weekend going up against Buffalo, though. Dawson Knox, Damian Harris not on the injury report. Again, Amon-Ra St. Brown not practicing. That pretty much gets us through everything here. But there's a note that says optimistic Zay Jones is going to play for the Jags. I do want to just kind of scroll through each team here and see what we can find. Arizona Cardinals look okay. Backup Keontae Ingram limited with a neck injury. Not sure if he's going to play in this one. I do want to note backup running back Amari DeMercado. I'm stashing him in a couple leagues in deeper formats as he's the backup running back, it looks like right now. We went over Baltimore, Buffalo. Let's see Buffalo real quick. A couple guys on defense, Greg Rousseau and Tre'Davious White. We know what the Achilles is out. Otherwise, the offense looks good to go for Buffalo. Carolina Panthers, again, we saw the Lions injury report. It didn't look good. The Carolina Panthers, you got Miles Sanders limited. He's on track to play with that slight groin injury. Otherwise, the rest of the offense looks okay. Chicago played last night. They played really good last night. Again, we went over the Bengals already. T. Higgins limited today. We'll see. So hopefully, we get some news reports tomorrow. Dallas Cowboys, I don't have their Friday or practice reports in, but it looks like their backup running back Rico Dowdle's going to play. It looks like they ruled out Peyton Hendershot already. So if you're looking, for tight end, Jake Ferguson is going to be a guy that's probably pretty busy. CeeDee Lamb just hanging out non-practice or non-injury for practice reports here. Dallas looks okay. I wish they had the Friday stuff in here, but overall, it looks like they're getting healthier. Denver Broncos, again, we kind of covered Javonte Williams. We need more information. I'm not in love with the matchup here for the Broncos running backs going up against the Jets, but if you need them, they're there. Jerry Jeudy, full practice the last 2 days. Broncos look okay. Again, we covered the Lions. The Packers, they play on Monday Night Football, so I don't think we have a full report out on them, but they're getting healthier. They had a few guys DNP, but we'll probably know more tomorrow on this front. It looks like Aaron Jones and Christian Watson are good to go, though. The Houston Texans getting healthier on the offensive line. They did rule out Josh Jones, one of the guards, and Christian Harris on defense here, but you got Titus Howard back from IR, it looks like. You also have Shaq Mason in full, and then you also have Laramie Tunzel in full today. So good news for the Texans offensive line. Dameon Pierce, good to go. Maybe he can finally find some room behind a healthy offensive line. Colts, Shaq Leonard and Kwity Paye ruled out. Otherwise, everybody else looks to be in good health here. Jonathan Taylor, again, the one that we're watching. The Jags, we're just watching for Zay Jones. The Chiefs, let's see. The Chiefs going up against the Vikings. They have pretty much full health everywhere. They didn't list anybody out. Everybody looks good to go here for the Chiefs. Chargers are on bye. Rams, of course, Cooper Kupp. They don't have their Friday reports in here, but Cooper Kupp is good to go. He's playing. I think you want to get him in there. They gave Kieran Williams the day off on Wednesday, but I think he's good to go. That was just precautionary kind of thing. The Miami Dolphins traded for Chase Claypool today. That was an interesting move. They have not ruled anybody out, but they did put Teron Armstead on IR and Robert Jones, the offensive lineman, on IR. I'm not sure if he's coming back or if he's going to IR here. But overall, Dolphins look okay. Unfortunately for Armstead, the Vikings are in good shape here. Nobody ruled out. A couple guys resting from non-injury here. The offense, though, looks pretty good. These are all majority defensive players, and Garrett Bradbury looks fine. The Patriots were watching for Ramondre Stevenson. Gonzalez and Matthew Judon ruled out, of course, so the defense there not at full strength. But overall, the offense looks like everybody's practicing in limited capacity. We'll just have to monitor that Ramondre report. The Saints, we already covered. Juwan, Lonnie Johnson, and Landon Young all ruled out here. Otherwise, the offense looks fine. We just got to watch for Derek Carr. We'll see about him. The Giants, it's Saquon Barkley, and of course, the offensive line got ruled out. 3 starters against the Dolphins. The Jets, they ruled out 2 cornerbacks here. Otherwise, the offense looks good to go. Full practices here for some guys. Looks like they're starting to get a little bit healthier. The Eagles, they ruled out Fletcher Cox for the first game since like 5 years or something like that. So no Fletcher Cox, no Cam Jurgens, no Marlon Tuipulotu. I don't know if I said that right here, but for fantasy, Eagles are looking pretty full strength here. Again, we already covered the majority of the Steelers guys here. They ruled out Pat Freiermuth, their punter, DeMarvin Leal, and Dan Moore, one of their offensive tackles here. But Kenny Pickett, it looks like he's going to play. Najee Harris is fine. Everything else looks okay here. Glad to see Kenny Pickett's back on the field. Seattle, they are on bye. San Francisco, big game against the Dallas Cowboys on Sunday Night Football. Not really seeing too much here. They did rule out Elijah Mitchell here. Deebo Samuel practicing in limited capacity. He's not 100%, so I don't think he's an automatic start, unless you have someone good behind him. And then it looks like Tampa Bay on bye. Tennessee, we've already kind of covered them. And then the last but not least is the Washington Commanders, and we already covered them. So there you go. That is your full practice report, guys, for Week 5. Again, I'm going to be doing a prop show tomorrow morning. We'll get that uploaded for you guys and get all the props listed on the website. Otherwise, Sunday morning, join me, 10:30 a.m. Central Time. We'll see you guys there. Have a good weekend. Peace.